Radio check, and good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight? Hey there, Sammy SideQuest. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. We're gonna be back on Run8 for a little bit, in a different server this time. We're in the CSX Southeast server, the A line. And we're coming in live from Moncrief Yard in Jacksonville, Florida. As you can see, this is our intermodal ramp for CSX. It's a little bit busy. We're going to see what we can do to get the ramp cleaned up. We got a couple trains here that are waiting to depart. We got some cars on the intermodal ramp that have been processed and are ready to get pulled out. And if we look at the dispatch board, here's our intermodal ramp here. We got a couple of trains that are waiting here, looking to come in. So we're going to see if we can do what we can to get things moving here. Do have to check. Okay, we're good. So let's see. We got this train over here. Q177. He leaves this yard in Jacksonville, Florida. He goes down to Orlando. Looks like he's already given over to the AI and ready to go. And he's coupled up to cars that go to Taft. Okay. That's good. I think we can just send him off then. Assuming he has a clear shot out of the yard, which we'll take a look at here, walking down our ladder. I think as long as we hit this crossover here, then we'll be good. So let's get that set. Let's run on back to our power and let's get them AI'd and out of here. Sammy SideQuest, how's your night going tonight? Watch this guy get under speed and leave. There's the AI going full bright headlight. We got 2 blasts of the horn, and they'll take off and get out. That's good to hear. Are you watching your favorite streamer tonight? That's fine. I'll gladly be second fiddle to Mr. Peanut, which, by the way, you got pretty good hats. All right, so this Q177 is getting up and out of town, and as soon as he gets out of here, we should have room to work. I have a couple cuts of cars here that looks like we can move. I think actually this train closest is a, yeah, that's an inbound that we got to break apart with some BNSF units on it. there goes our Q177 out of here. Thank you. Thank you. As Peanut would say, thank you, good sir, but I know you're a lady. So, thank you, my lady. Okay. And we gotta get him lined. This is all in the yard. We gotta get him railroad out on the main to get him down to Orlando. So let me go to our dispatch screen here. So he'll be coming out at this end of the Jacksonville intermodal facility at Duval. He's going to be coming off this slower track here. You can already tell. So we'll get this switched for him. And he's going to head east off map at St. John's towards the Sanford subdivision down towards Orlando. So we'll get some lights in for him. And we'll get him on his way. As you see, I have two trains out here, Q143 and Q127, that they both need to come into the yard here from the other end. Actually fly down and show you while we wait. There's the west end of the yard. It actually diamonds over the NS here at on the Valdosta secondary. Valdosta, however you say it. And it comes out here to the main line at Dinsmore. And here's our trains that are waiting to come in. More trailers and containers, all bound for the ramp. FedEx, UPS, you name it. So stuff we gotta get moving quickly so people's packages don't get delayed. Fly back over here. We got one track that's got, looks like all these cars can come off this track and go to outbound train, since yes, all these tags have flipped here. And the other track is clear, so we can actually go ahead and we can bring in one of those trains right away. I'm going to just set this switch against the other track, because the AI in this game, he'll stop for red signals and he'll stop for switches thrown against him. So I'm going to bring this guy in on the AI, and I'm going to use that to my advantage to get him stopped where I want him. Yep, no more hand switches, so you should be lined to come in. Go straight through this crossover sets here and take a left and go into the ramp here. As you can see, look around getting down. I guess that's the yard motto here at Duval Intermodal Ramp. Let me go back to my dispatch screen, and I'm going to go ahead and give, I think that was the 143 was the first one, give him the light to come on in here at the ramp. And then I should be able to get this other track clear with my yard power that I have and build some outbound trains here. Because yeah, I got these THOs. This goes somewhere in Georgia, I think. No, East Thomas, Alabama. That's where these go. So these are going down to Alabama. The FEC cars, that's for the Florida East Coast. That's the transfer job that runs out of here. And these cars here, TPA, these go to Tampa. Who's a bunch of freaks there? Not me, right? Tampa's here. So I can build a Tampa train. These are more cars for Taft, which is down in Orlando. We just sent one of those. Here's more, here's more THOs. Perfect, so East Thomas, Alabama. And, oop. Florida East Coast. Okay. Oh, the sign, yeah. Yeah, the game has the game developers have a sense of humor, for sure. Um, there's little billboards and signs and other Easter eggs that you'll find as time goes on. I keep finding stuff every time I play. Retag these here for Taft as well. There's some extra power sitting for outbound trains I can use in a little bit. And the back end of our train going down to Taft is just about out of here. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna get my yard power out here and get active with these guys here. I think I'm going to take this inbound train that sits here at this BNSF power and put these cuts away in the yard. It looks like I got a cut of more cars for Taft, and I got a bunch of Tampas. Oh, and some Florida East Coasts. Okay, so I gotta split that up and put it away here. So this guy's actually still AI'd. You can see this guy's AI'd, but he's sitting against the switch that's not thrown his way. So somebody wanted to stop him here on purpose, and it works. So I'm gonna relinquish the AI, and then I'm gonna get on my power, and I'm gonna get to work here. Get myself lined out. So my yard train symbol for today is the CSX Y109. Let's go ahead and climb aboard. No one had any handbrakes on this thing. That's not very good. Let's go ahead and do that real quick so we can give a quick stretch and make sure we're coupled on properly. Yep. Get those back off. Looks like we're on air. So I'm going to isolate these. So push them around like boxcars at that point, but we're going to cut the air in. Sammy Syquest, my Olympic sprinter, is not missing a beat tonight. He's still on his game. Okay, I got air at the rear. Get the EOT off now since we're switching. And let's eye up these moves that I gotta do. So, you got Florida East Coast on the rear, and I got a cut of those already sitting here, so I should just be able to shove them into this cut here to add to it. And then after that, I've got Tampa's, Taft, and that's it. Which Tampa and Taft will just make a new track for those in the class yard that we have. That, I think we're clear straight ahead. That train that we gave the light to is coming in now. And here's our Q177. That's heading down to Orlando. He's already out of the yard on the main line now. I'm going to expand the screen out and take a look at a couple other areas here too. Got a couple other things going here. I got stuff coming from Baldwin, Florida. Actually, I'll fly down there in a little bit. That's a cool train that's coming off the Baldwin sub. Click here. So this server goes from as far south as Orlando, Florida, which is down here by Taft. Here's north and south Orlando. Comes up through Sanford, comes to where I'm at right now in Jacksonville, and then it continues north and gets into southeastern Georgia and a bit into central Georgia. This server has a large classification yard at Waycross and the main lines around it, and it has tracks that extend up to Manchester, Georgia, which actually there's a bit of a backlog here on the Manchester sub. You can see all these trains are in a line going westbound right now with how the lights are lit up. I have 10 trains all following each other in the line trying to get out of here, so we'll give them some clear track ahead while I'm here looking at this. There we go. We got one little coal train coming against that has to get out of the way. This line also goes up to, the server I should say, goes up to Savannah, Georgia, which Savannah and the Manchester area being the northern end of the server, with two possible areas to come on and off from. And that's Baldwin, Florida. Which actually I have another intermodal coming in now. And that's the alerter to make sure I'm paying attention. If I don't acknowledge that alerter by a certain amount of time, my train automatically goes into a braking application, and I don't want that, so I'm gonna wait back here for the back end of my train to pass. I got this Q102, it's also coming inbound. I'm gonna bring him up. I'm just gonna have to get him out of the way off of the main line. Here we go, I can do that right down here before he comes into the yard. This is the track we want. Okay. Getting dark out. We gotta get our flashlight out. Back we go. There's the sign again, Sammy Side Quest. Hey John, what's up JFK? How you doing? We're working Jacksonville yard today on the CSX. Time they lace up air hoses, so do that the lazy way. We'll couple onto these, fly back to the far end of our cut, Shove the whole thing back. How's your day going, JFK? You had an off day today. Nice. That's cool. Here's the train that we AI'd out in the main. Just about getting parked here in the unloading ramp with the leaser unit. Oh, that'll be cool, bud. Yeah, I heard that thing was running again this weekend. I might go see it. Depends what's up. I have I have two birthday parties to go to this weekend. One for my niece, one for my cousin's daughter. So we'll see if we make it out. There we go. May hit the brakes a little bit too late on this one. Yep, definitely a bit too late. That's okay. Yikes. Alright, no one saw that. Let's go forward. Pay no attention to the almost run through switch we just had. Oh yeah, we're good. Like it never happened. JFK, are you going to see the big boy when it comes around? I saw the schedule was just released yesterday for that. Yeah, it's far enough. Get that stopped. Fly ahead to this cut. Get the handbrakes. We just fit. Cool, man. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. I think everyone's gonna be out for it. So hopefully people aren't too crazy, but I have my doubts. Um, where are you gonna plan on seeing it? You gonna get it on the Reading and Northern, or are you gonna try and get it out by like Horseshoe Curve area? Dispatch. That's right. Reading and Northern. Nice. Well, I'm moving ahead slowly here. I'll go catch this train. JFK, you ever seen the Tropicana juice trains? Got those on the server here. I got one that's coming at us on track speed. Sit here and let this thing roll by. IO32. That's the one that they run. Yeah, that's the one that runs today. That's combined with intermodal. Going back years ago, and this server in particular I'm playing on. This is based on the CSX from like 20 years ago or so, 2005. Um, the train used to be nothing but Tropicana cars, no intermodal or anything else, and it was the K650, and that's what's about to roll by on the stream here in just a yeah. Here we go, just a minute. This is a loaded train. This one goes up our way to Greenville, New Jersey. Nothing but orange juice on it. Thank you to my lovely assistant for the camera re-aiming. Yeah, JFK. Yeah, it's yeah, K650 was a long time ago at this point. It was K650, and then I think it was Q740 for a while. And yeah, now it's just mixed in with intermodal as the IO32. So, times have definitely changed. Yeah, the traffic's dropped so much that they can't make it a solid train anymore. There's just not enough cars, unfortunately. So they got to mix it in with just the intermodal stuff. But yeah, if you're lucky, you'll still see it here and there. But yeah, I think it's like maybe 10 or 15 cars on IO32 anymore. Yeah, 740 was the one, I'm pretty sure. 740 was the loaded. 741 was the empty. Oh yeah, the Q410 also had some as well, depending on what was the priority of them, I guess. Got another train that spawned in way down here off map by Orlando. Fly down there in a minute to see that one taking off. So I got this shortcut of Tampa's, but I got more Tampos to bring out from the other train, so I gotta leave myself some room here. Yeah, JFK 410 is actually one of the trains that runs on this server. Since that train is Selkirk Yard down to Waycross, right? And the Waycross hump yard and class yard is a major part of this server. So it's the 410 that leaves Waycross and goes to Selkirk, and the 409 that comes into Selkirk from Waycross. Both of those run on the server, and even the IO32 that you're talking about. In here, I think it's a different symbol. Actually, I think someone just sent it earlier here on this stream. Yeah, Q174. I think. Yeah, Q174. That one goes to North Bergen, and also eventually goes to Boston. Fly around and show you that in a little bit too here. Just gotta watch my shove to make sure I don't almost run through any more switches. That wouldn't be good, no. Yep. Yep, you got it. Slow on down. Give it some independent and dynamic this time, just to be safe. And that was way too much, but rather that than overshoot. I had cut these. Some handbrakes on. Okay. Here you go, JFK. Here's today's IO32. Why did I just teleport to daytime? What the? There we go. All right, let's fly on back to what we're working at. This guy moving too. What's up, Kev? Hey, this is I think you should recognize the stream pretty well. Uh, is did you just happen to maybe change around the system time dramatically? Is that why I suddenly went to daylight? Mm-hmm. I see. I see. That'll happen, I guess. That'll happen. Yeah. Yes, you will. Uh, as a famous Reading and Northern dispatcher once said, you will definitely have that in those big jobs. Hey, Ethan Klingenberg, what's going on? We're playing some Run8 tonight. Um, Working the Duval ramp down in Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, EK, how you doing, man? Welcome back into the stream. Yeah, we're changing it up now. I'm on a different server on Southeast. Um, this is not the Highball server. This is another one that I'm on with a private host that's modeled around 2005 era CSX. And we're cleaning up Moncrief tonight. And there's our server host hopping in, Kevin. Kevin, you want to hop on Discord? Raj. I don't know how much longer I'll be on anyway. I gotta drive into yeah, it'll be a short stay for me too. I gotta get up and go to Philly in the morning. Probably gonna launch off a couple trains here out of the yard and then call it quits. Enough. Oh. Who do we have here? What, I gotta find my controls for that. I don't even know what that is. I think my avatar commands conflict with a bunch of my my movement keys. Oops. Well, I seem to have dumped my train. I wonder what happened. Let's go inspect. Huh. I guess the ghost must have done that then. Interesting. Alright. That's the classic train master move. Watching their crew from the bushes. Waiting for them to do something wrong. I may have hit emergency by accident too. Yep, definitely did. I didn't change that in this computer yet. I'm gonna hop in here and grab this other cut. It's got everything flipped, ready to get pulled. Then I'll have a couple trains I can send off. This EOT off. There you go. There we go. All right. And with this happening at the same time, I should be able to start bringing in that other train that was sitting out in the main. So make sure we're lined up. Fly them back here. Yep. Go ahead and line him in. Oop. We forgot to get more railroad to our 177. So he's going to be coming down here and heading on down all the way through the A line down to Taft. So give him up through Pecan for now in Palatka area. He's going to run into this oil train that's down here eventually. So we'll have a meet and pass somewhere. Probably in this area. thing I'm gonna do before we get to, we gotta relinquish this guy. So if it sits here AI, these cars will never flip on the industry track. There we go. Now he's relinquished, so we're good. Got 6,500 feet of train I gotta hold off. This be a long trim. I don't know if I'll need the signal, but just in case, I'll give myself the life for it. I do have a long train. Oop. Shut up. I am paying attention. Hey JFK, you still here hanging out? think we'll be stopping just short. I'll walk at 6,500 feet. We'll fly back. Good, we're just clear. Right. Let's see. Let me throw this switch first. So I got the other guy that should be coming in. Here he is. So I'm gonna have him relinquish when he stopped to get that switch thrown against him down at the end. Yeah, because he's gonna pull on to the track I just cleared off, and then he'll wait down next to this guy. So for what I got a hold of, I got more Florida East Coasts. I got 2 for Savannah, and then I got more Florida East Coasts. A lot of FEC stuff. There's more East Thomas, Alabamas. And more Taft. More Tampa. Okay. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to have Florida East Coast transfer to get out of here. I'm going to have East Thomas, Alabama to get out of here. And I'll probably have a short train for Tampa. Let's see, FECs. I'm going to send those down the next track. I got almost another full track length of those. So yeah, a lot of FECs going off map then. Back we go. Keep this westbound parade moving. Get himself stopped here. Um, well, Sammy side quest you missed my train going to emergency, which is never ever ideal. But we got that fixed up pretty quick. The uh the server admin also um added some excitement. He hopped in here and suddenly changed the time of day to like middle of the day, and all of a sudden we went from nighttime to the sun being out, and I was like, "What the heck did I just do?" But it wasn't me. So a little bit of shenanigans. Uh, no, nothing exploded, thankfully. I don't. I think that would be something cool for this game to have, as far as game mechanics, but I don't think it has that right now. But yeah, no explosions. We're in good shape. Savannah's next in line. Yep, a whopping two Savannahs. Okay, looks like everything's moving. Won't need that signal anymore down in lane, so we can take that away. Sammy side quest, like I saw clarified, the only explosion that this game has in it is if the entire server were to explode, which I definitely don't want to do. Trains don't really crash in this game. Um, if a train crash were to happen, like two trains hit each other head on, all it would do is just crash the server. So yeah. So in that case, no, we have not had any explosions or server crashes. We're in good shape. You know, Rust does have trains in it, so that would be. I guess you do have some sort of mesh there already. And I guess the Rust role players would have a lot more things to roleplay at that point, so it might work out. So hopefully they don't bring the topics of discussion in Rust lobbies to Run8. That would be that can stay in Rust. Um, I'll bring that here. Whopping 2 cars for Savannah. Oh, I think Kevin's over working. Speaking of Savannah, or no, it's not Savannah. Maybe it is Savannah. I'll go fly over and take a look in a minute. That Q491 is a train that comes down on the server. Usually works the yard at Savannah down here, and then continues on the way to Waycross, which is the here's the receiving yard here. All these tracks that you see. No Savannahs. Okay, gotcha. So here's Savannah Yard. Outbound cars ready to go. A whole bunch of inbound cars. Service yard. There's another train waiting to get in. I'm actually gonna look now. I'm not even sure if it has cars for Savannah. That's what Kevin was just doing. There's no Savannahs on the train, so it doesn't even bother with the yard. It just keeps on going. Back to Moncrief. Are we far enough? Yeah, we're plenty far enough. Let's go right back into those. Tropicana car if you dropped off earlier. This I have East Thomas, Alabama's, Taft, and Tampa. And then we'll just send a couple trains out of here, and then I think call it a night at that point. See, I already got a track of East Thomas's. I'm gonna have 2 tracks of Florida East Coasts. I'm gonna have almost a full track of Tampa's. So yeah, we can do that. How long does the nighttime last? Well, it lasts as long as our nighttime. Um, Actually, I see it's kind of cut off up here, but at the top left of the screen is a running counter for the just the game time, which in this case I have the settings set. Here you go. I have it set so it just matches perfectly what the local system time is, and it just runs 24/7 real time. So nighttime for us is nighttime in the game. If you go to 7 o'clock in the morning, it'll be daylight. Sun will rise in the east, sun will set in the west. I could skip ahead since I'm overriding system time. So there's 6 in the morning. The sun slowly coming up. And sunset in the evening. You can see the stars moving up into the sky way back there. Which is kind of cool. I've never seen that before. Never noticed it before. We're definitely far enough and approaching our cut, so I'm gonna get back to making sure I don't crash the server. All good. Go back to local time for the region. Oop. Uh-oh. I don't know, I guess you guys can't see the full message, but I had a car derail. I had a car that picked the switch and derailed. That's not fun. So now I gotta find the dang car and fix that. This is one of the few derailment mechanics the game has and can handle without crashing anything. Game will just randomly decide after all these axles go over the switch, it'll just randomly decide, yep, this is the one. You're getting screwed. Gotta find which one it is. Which at least I know it's an FEC car. So that a bit narrows it down. And the only switch I'm going over is way down here towards the front, so it shouldn't be any of these. It's a good thing there's flashlight in the game is so powerful too. It really helps right now. Oop. Found the culprit. Yep, you'll have that too. On its turn on nonetheless, right in the frog section. I think it should let me re-rail this just fine. Let's do it the fun way. Let's actually put down. I'm gonna put down re-railing frogs. Pull it back up and onto the rail. I want to go the other way. So yeah, the wheel will just ride up on these little rerailing frogs, and if it works out right, this little catch will catch the wheel, dump it right back on the head of the rail, and we'll be in business again. Yeah, oopsie poopsie. Uh, could happen to anyone. But now it's happening to me, so. Yep. The game likes the game has a sense of humor. Um, I am indeed rerailing my train like a real man, not like a piglet. And there we go. Rerail succeeded. Of course, it had to be like literally in the last couple car lengths too. You'll have that. Oh, that is not good at all. They should have coupled there, not phased. So let's pull ahead. Oh, okay, that's great. All right, let me try and fix this. This is definitely not ideal. We back. We back. But it deleted my FECs. Whatever. Okay. I still have plenty of more FEC cars to go. Okay, that was a close call, but we're good and we're back. Just have to copy and repaste my train, just like a corrupt file. Copy, repaste, and hopefully it fixes itself. And yeah, Sammy, hopefully, I mean, no, I wish rerailing in real life was that simple, but alas. Let's try that again. Watch it pick and I'm gonna switch again. That would be fantastic. That was uneventful. That's good. No more trains phasing through trains anymore. That was a close. That was actually very close to a server crash. Okay, kick over these East Thomases. Almost there. Should be line back. Yep, line back. Good amount of cars to cut off. Well, if this is real life, Sammy, absolutely not. I be caught by some train master hiding in these trees over here, coming out, yelling at me, firing me, and telling me to go home. When you're moving pixels, who cares? Hell, I was drinking and operating trains last train, which is like one of the cardinal sins to do in the railroad. But hey, we can do whatever here. I was actually just looking at the ticket prices for the big boy steam locomotive that's coming to visit the East Coast. There's a public trip, one trip where the public's going to be on board, um, in like the Jim Thorpe area, and I was just looking at the ticket prices, and I'm not surprised, but I'm also surprised at just how expensive a single ticket is for that trip for one person. It's not for the working class. I'll just put it that way. But I think they'll still sell out, which is nuts. Yeah, this one right here. Actually, let's try and kick these. Yeah, that would be fun. I got only a few cars left here. Let's. It's probably something else we're not supposed to do on the railroad, but we can do whatever here. Probably not supposed to kick intermodal cars, and we're definitely not supposed to kick 15 cars at once, but whatever. Let's see if it works. Oop, one more car. That one's got to go too. So, Sammy side quest. Do you know what kicking cars is? If you don't know, you're about to find out. Let's go ahead give these a kick. There'll be no physical kicking of anybody involved, but we are gonna kick cars. I'm gonna reverse. I'm gonna get this whole thing up to speed. Uncouple this, hit the brakes, and kick these down the track wherever the hell they're gonna go. There they go. Good kick. Now I just gotta hope that they make it, which I think they will, because this is a bit downhill going this way. If I did it right, they'll roll all the way down and couple into these. So, just gotta hope I kicked them hard enough. And you know what? No, I won't do the same thing for Tampa's. Tampa's are there, and I'm just gonna send these units down. These two that have been sitting here. I'm gonna send these as the Tampa power. That'll be my easiest move. This is gonna be close. No, we're good. Start bringing my power back. Go, we're moving. And good, we cleared the switch. So if they couple, great. If they don't, I don't care. They're in the clear. Yeah, kicking cars can be dangerous, especially if someone's, standing in the track right here, because those cars that are coming behind you, you have no idea they're on the way unless you're looking this way. You can't hear them. I already know off the top of my head that the intermodal that goes to Tampa, change the train symbol, it's the Q189. As soon as I shove these two engines and these intermodal cars back against the other cut, that'll be getting up and out of it on its way. They might just make it. I think I may have given the perfect kick. I think it just hitched up. Any slower, that would not have made it the whole way down. All right. And now I'm actually... Yeah, because these two are sitting. I'm done with this yard power. So I can go ahead and get this yard power out of the way and tie the yard power down. Just take this guy back and just park it on an empty track. Handbrakes on. Get these both to isolate. Turn everything off. And we'll shut them down. Okay, now I just send trains. So, I already got one ready to go. That's this guy right here. 2189 of the 29th of April. From here in Jacksonville, Florida, goes down to Tampa, Florida. He's going to be leaving at a short one, only make this a bit bigger. 1,600 tons, 2,500 feet. A little shorty, but we'll say it's priority to get down to Tampa here. So let's get him off. Line him out. And away. Off to the AI, and the AI is getting it out of here. Okay, I got two more I can send right now. I got the Florida East Coast transfer, and I got the East Thomas, Alabama. So the Florida East Coast transfer, it's not modeled on the server, but the Florida East Coast Railroad, run from Jacksonville down to Miami. They have a yard not too far away from here that CSX will bring them cars for the FAC, and they eventually go down the system to as far as Miami. Then CSX comes back with cars from Florida East Coast to go elsewhere. So I think this single unit should be able to handle that just fine. We'll go in here and get everything turned on. Let's call this another Y job. Call this Y209. Why not? We're almost there. I got one down, two to go. And this one should be simple. It's got two tracks right next to each other, the double two. And then we're away with this one. Do I have a favorite server I like to play? Sammy's asking me. Um, I do like the Highball server. Um, that, that's the server I was playing on the last stream. Um, the Southwest server in particular. Um, Number one, because the server's so huge and there's so much to do all over the place. You never get bored, and there's usually a lot of other players that are on that server at the same time as well. If you haven't watched yet, go back and watch my last stream from last weekend here. I think April 25th. Um, had kind of an impromptu operating session start up during the stream. We had multiple dispatchers online. I was working the yard at Barstow Yard in Barstow, California, and I had a couple other players that were also assisting with getting a lot of the yard work done at that time. So there's a lot of talking with them on the radio, if you will, as well as talking with and seeing a lot of other mainline traffic pass by, which included a lot of AI trains and a lot of players. I do really like this server here as well, the CSX Southeast, and in particular the setup that we're running here, thanks to Kevin, Jeeps, a whole bunch of other guys in our Discord to get this server set up the way it is. Again, this is CSX around circa year 2005. So this line's obviously still here today, but just the way things were 20 years ago, it was so much more busy. There's a couple other servers I've tried to configure myself too that I'd say I'm happy with, and I'm still working on those. Another one I'm on that I really, really like, and probably should get on more often, is Northern California. In particular, the setup that's getting run by John Means. Modern Northern California is run by the Union Pacific, and just like this, if you look at today's operations, it's not as busy as they once were. This server stretching from Sacramento, California to Reno, Nevada, through the Donner Pass, it's just an incredible stretch of railroad. Crazy grades, mountain passes, snow in the winter. But the server setup there, it's based in 1991, back when the Southern Pacific was the railroad that was in charge of the line, and it's set up using all Southern Pacific equipment, all Southern Pacific trains of the era, even using like the era's signals from the early 90s, kind of replacing the modern signals that are in the server as a default, based on what's there today. But I guess the short answer is any Run8 live 24/7 server, I just find a lot of fun. I've heard other streamers say this about Run8 and playing the live server aspect, and I wholeheartedly believe this. I kind of view this as like my own personal train layout. I shouldn't say my own personal because I didn't build it or construct it, but that's how I'm thinking of this. I come here, I operate trains and work the yards just like you would on a real railroad, without having to deal with all the wiring or building the plywood or having the space for it. And plus, you get to do, you get to play on your own layout with your friends too, and make it fun and interactive. So the live aspect is definitely what sells this game for me. So we got our Florida East Coast transfer AI'd and getting out of here. That only leaves one more down, and that's the intermodal to East Thomas, Alabama. I'm just gonna fly ahead, and I gotta grab this guy's switches real quick. Get him crossed over, because if I send him straight, it leads to, yeah, leads to a dead end track and a caboose there that has a name. The caboose is here because the caboose wasn't here. The train I just AI'd would just come on this track. It would just keep going all the way until the end of the track and actually go off the end of the track. And in this game, when a train does that, that's a signal for the train to delete itself. That's how trains kind of delete themselves when they get to the end of the server boundary. Or else you'd have to have players constantly going to the end of the server, going there to see the stop trains and deleting them as they arrive. You know what I mean? So it's a good mechanic in that way, but here it just makes it annoying. But if you have a car here, it'll stop before the car. That's why this caboose is called the Big Stoppa, among other things. But this thing is lined up to the first signal. Now I just got to get it lined out of the yard here, and this routing is going to look funky just because of how this dispatch screen's lined up, but it's going to come out this way, hang a hard right, and start going towards the Florida East Coast yard, which continues here and then comes off map right here where it says, I'll actually go to the zoomed in view. There we go. It's going to come out of Jacksonville, Duval, hang a right at Dinsmore, go next to the Amtrak station, go next to Moncrief Yard, which is where all the freight's at, and then here at Beaver Street, it's going to hang a left and go onto the Florida East Coast to their Bowden Yard. Right, and the last one I gotta do is my train to East Thomas, Alabama, which is the Q180. So I got 2 units here ready to go. It's gonna hook up to and double up my train, and then he's gonna get out of Dodge. So I'm gonna pull forward down this lead the whole way. I'm gonna leave out this end while the Florida East Coast yard job leaves out the other end. Here we go. You can see here's the train I just AI'd that's going down to Tampa. He's already out of the yard. He's hanging a right down here, the Duval connection, and he's gonna head to the Baldwin sub. And actually, I'll go over there too. Oop, and I got a little roadblock I was leaving behind here. So that train's gonna come from Jacksonville here, and then here it makes a left onto the Wildwood subdivision and goes down to Tampa via Wildwood, Florida. And there we go. Cool thing too about this game, dispatch screen and the way that the dispatch screen functions basically works the same way as the real freight railroads, or any real railroad for that matter. Same look, same overall feel. No. I've said it once, that's enough. I'm not gonna be falling for these tongue twisters. Hey, Sammy, side quest. I got one for you, actually, in response. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll give it to you. Alright. Sammy, side quest. You see this? Say this 5 times fast. I'm gonna butcher this. Salcahatchee. Salcahatchee. Yeah, Salcahatchee. That's not too bad, actually. That's easier than whatever. I forget the 5 times fast thing, but it was a mouthful. I remember something about dispatching and yada yada yada. Oh, just like the real railroads. Yeah, that's a very much a mouthful. Thought I wasn't lined for the right track for a second, but I'm good. Hitch. update what train I was on. I think it's choo choo. I don't think it's choo poo, but maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. Either way, I appreciate your enthusiasm saying the side quest. This is our last move we got here for this stream, I think. Just gotta take this cut, double it over to this cut, and send this thing on its way, and then we're done here. But we'll catch some views of the trains we just AI'd leaving. That'll be it then, I think. Anyone in there? These guys need to clean their windshields really bad. Jeez. Bring it back for one more cut. We already got 2,000 feet of train. I think we're going to double it here. Probably more than that, actually. Good hitch. Oh yeah, we more than doubled. We're at 5,400 feet of train. 5,400 feet, 5,600 tons. And off to the AI. Now get it up and out of here. it goes. So he's going to go across most of the server. It's going to come out here of Duval Intermodal at lane. It's actually going to have to wait right now on the Florida East Coast transfer that we gave railroad to earlier, because this thing will make a left-hand turn here at Beaver Street, and then it's going to stay on the A line past Moncrief Yard going the other way north on the Nahunta sub heading up towards Georgia. So it'll go through Dinsmore. It will come here through Callahan, Hilliard, up to Folkston. And Folkston up to Georgia, which is right about where the Florida-Georgia line's at. It'll hang a left, come down through Race Pond on the Jessup subdivision. After that, it'll stay on the Jessup through Baganza. It'll go through Waycross, and at this point, it gets off of the Jessup sub, and it gets onto the Fitzgerald sub, which we can see the start of it here. Going through Jamestown, Bolin, continuing. I think this is west, but it's showing south here. Again, north. It's heading north. It's going to come from Bolin down here at the bottom right. Work its way left across the screen and up. And this will hang a right at Manchester and go off of the server up here at Manchester. Actually, it's going to go off the server here at CP Gay, heading towards Atlanta, Georgia, eventually East Thomas, Alabama. That's that. I think what we can do, let's get a view at the trains we sent off, watch them go by. Here's our Q189 from earlier heading down to Tampa. Right down there, actually, it's getting close to the Baldwin Diamond. Yep, you can see it taking a left turn right there, actually. Passing the old Baldwin Tower. Wait, complete with the guy that looks like he's, Oh, never mind. He's probably just walking in the door. Yep. Tower worker. Thought he was taking a piss for a second, but nope. We're not in Folkestone. What's this doing here? What's this one say? I don't think we're in Hilliard either. That's something that the game dev should take a look at, making sure that their water towers are matching the area that they're in. I do think there's there's McDonald's down here in Baldwin. Also got a pilot and a Waffle House. Chat, what's our opinions on Waffle House? I think it's some of the best diner food you're ever gonna have. Just gonna make sure you don't get any fights. Ooh, got China walk. I can go for some Chinese. All right, but anywho. Oh, Sammy, not a fan? Ooh, we got another one? We do. I think this is a rock train. This one's even holding up the police. So yep, this is a stone train. Yeah, that I'm sure their griddles have seen some stuff. I'll put it that way. So this is an empty stone train. This goes to, I think this actually goes to a mine, a stone quarry on server. Gets loaded up with stone and gets taken back off map. He's gonna take a left at the diamond up here. Go up that away. But now, let's see the other trains that we let go earlier. Our Florida East Coast transfers out of the yard and on the way. Here. He's probably still coming through this Y right here. Yeah, that's why he's still slow speed. Once he gets on the straight here, he'll be able to open it up and get underway. Underneath 295, actually. He's going to come down the main line. Eventually, he's going to go past... Here's the Amtrak Jacksonville station. Platforms and everything else ready to go for passengers. And here's Moncrief Yard with downtown Jacksonville in the background. So this side of the yard, this is where all the freight comes in from the country. Gets processed on local trains here. I think there's 3 local trains that run out of this yard. They go to different areas. Plus, again, there's freight cars here that go for the Florida East Coast, as you can see. Florida East Coast, if you keep going east. Here's the Florida East Coast yard. This is the area where the CSX crew, they'll come off the CSX, come into the Florida East Coast yard, and go past those buildings and trees back there. It's it really goes off map, but it's a transfer to the Florida East Coast to give them their cars. Hang a right and come down this way, we should run into the last intermodal train that we just let go. Here's a local train. One of the locals out of Moncrief, actually. Sitting here waiting to be worked at the first customer here that gets tank cars. Which that might be an activity for a different stream, because I'm about ready to get off here. Keep flying down, and I think we'll run into our train. I can hear it. Yeah, there it is. He's getting underway pretty good now, so I think we'll go back, watch him go, and then I think that'll be it for our stream. You too, Sammy SideQuest. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you being part of the stream here. Here we go. With that, I think we're going to call it. Thank you guys for hanging out. This was fun. Hope you guys have a good night, and hope to see you back on here soon. See ya.